Hello guys, my name is Marco. So here's the thing. I want to talk about the Odyssey. Now, I am going to be watching the Odyssey. There's a few reasons why, but I'm going to tell you guys this. First of all, when I first heard about the idea of the Odyssey and Christopher Nolan, I thought this is going to be a hit. He directed Dunkirk, which is like, feel like it's another film based on something. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Right? Christopher Nolan. I do like majority of Christopher Nolan's films. Right? The Dark Knight series, I thought it was really good. Right? A lot of his films are good. Okay? Inception, I thought, favorite movie. Interstellar, one of my favorite movies. Dunkirk, love it. Oppenheimer, freaking amazing. Right? From when I first heard about this, I was like, I'm right on board. People were like, I don't care, I'm gonna watch it. And to me, I was kind of like that, but I'm not gonna pre-order a ticket because I'm like, I never do that. You know, I kind of did that with the Michael Jackson one because I knew Michael Jackson. It was gonna be biography. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But then I saw the trailer. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I saw there's people out there that are hating this movie, right? Criticizing a lot, going specific details and stuff like that. And to me, I'm not one of those people, right? I'm just gonna look at it the way it is. The Odyssey. First of all, there's the whole idea of the Helen of Troy. There's the Travis Scott situation. There's like the what's it called? The language barrier, like the language or whatever stuff, right? And then there is the what's it called? The Ellen Page or Elliot Page or whatever, right? Whole situation. And to be honest, dude, when I start seeing the controversial stuff, it kind of made me not get excited for this movie. But I was still gonna watch it. I just don't like the idea of just and whatever. And then people are saying, oh yeah, this is like, you know, now it's getting downvotes. But to be honest, dude, well, downvoted, yes, because I don't like those elements, and I know Christopher Nolan is backing up on those ideals. Me sticking to, but I'm hoping the movie's actually good and will change my mind, and I will watch reviewers. Make sure of that. But here's the thing, the Travis Scott situation, I get it, Tenet. You know, he made a song at the end called Tenet and whatever it is, and I thought that was fine. You know, that basically that thing. But then also Travis Scott has been in the movie, because I haven't seen him in a movie. He's gonna be in it, but like, if I would, he'd probably be like in a movie where it's like a horror movie, or like about, you know, the streets, or like, because I know Jordan basketball or something like that. But him being in this movie called Odyssey, I don't know. Haven't seen him act, so there's that. I don't know. So maybe, I don't know. So that's kind of like a mix. So that was kind of like, that's the one thing that was kind of mixed about, right? And a famous celebrity going to a famous singer, artist, becoming an actor. I'm always questioning that, because I'm like, when films do that, usually the film comes out mediocre. But this one, I don't know. I don't know. So there's that. The Helen of Troy basically was being played by this female who was in Black Panther, I believe. And there's that. And I'm not saying that she doesn't look beautiful. I'm like, yeah, she looks great. I think her name is Lupira or something like that. I don't know. But I think that's her name. I don't know. But like, yeah, I think she's great. She's beautiful in her own right? But there's something she said, oh, it's not about the beauty, right? It's not about this. That's what she said. Listen, I'm like, the Helen of Troy, like, I feel like that's what it is. The reason why people went into battle is because of her beauty. So why, what the hell? Like, that's the whole point. It's kind of like Snow White, right? It's kind of like, the reason why her name is Snow White is because her skin is so white like snow. Yeah, Disney, whatever. So there's that. And then we hear about freaking like Elliot Page. Oh, he's gonna be playing this one guy. I forgot his name, but you know, Troy, I believe, or something. People are saying, speculating, but they were all speculations. I don't know if that's gonna be true or not. Hopefully it's not. But they were just speculations. So those things are things that got me, not like I wasn't gonna see it, it just got me not be excited for the movie, right? And there's a lot of things. There are speculations, right? And speculations sometimes, they kind of irritate me a little bit because I'm like, I don't know if it's true or not. If it is true, I don't like it. But if it's not true, then what the hell? So people are saying, oh, it's trolls and this and that. I get it, and I'm not freaking like trolling here. But like, I don't want to be a troll for this film. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's woke or like whatever. But when there's certain things, I'm just like kind of worried about it, right? Now, of course, I'm gonna watch the movie. I'm gonna see for myself to see what is going on, what's cooking in the kitchen, see what he cooked, right? Okay, look, I don't like these pegs, but I'm gonna see the movie and see like, okay, what's what, right? Because to be honest, dude, these things coming out, man, these things happening, these are just like things. And also the language barrier. That might freaking like, not the language barrier, but more like why are they not speaking in Greek? It's just regular English. That kind of takes you out of this immersion, right? And some people, yeah, it did, but then soon I synced in with it. I went with it. And I'm like, yeah, but now it's like, it just doesn't feel like the story of Odyssey brought to life. I'm just like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not saying that this is terrible. I'm not saying whatever is going on, right? I'm just saying, why do you decide to do that? And just, it's not like, it's not bad. It just irritates me. It irritates me because I'm just like, if a person wants to see this movie and it's like, you're not being, but they don't have to be accuracy, right? Other than that, the actors are in it. None of them are for Greek, right? But then at the same time, it's like, at least you could have and one actor or two to be Greek, right? At least have that. But you don't have to have all the actors be Greek. You don't have to be 100% accurate. Why? Because do you know any actor that is famous that's Greek? Or like multiple ones I'm talking about. But if you know one, at least put them in a movie, right? So you can have that. But the language, it's kind of like the whole Mario like language, like, oh yeah, the freaking like, what's it called, Italian accent goes away later on. Like, now Mario just sounds like whatever. I'm like, it's just like, it's like, yeah, it's like, when Mario stops sounding Italian, then who is this guy? Right? Lost that accent, right? Like this film looks like it's the same story, but it looks like it takes place like here in the United States, because the accent's not there. There's certain movies out there where a Mexican like the accent, and then they're talking Spanish. No, they're talking English, but their accent sounds like, it kind of does sound like they're Spaniard or something like that, because that's what they are, right? But if they didn't have that Mexican accent, then it would have just sounded just regular English. Then it wouldn't sound like they're from, well, Mexican or Spain or whatever. It would have sounded like they're from America. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, I know I'm making a big deal than what it is, and it shouldn't be, So I just got done watching Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. Give you guys my thoughts and what I thought about it. Because here's the thing. I did see, right, 3C Films. He said that he loved it. Then I saw Tyrone Magnus review. He said like, oh my God, this movie was like not the best. So I was like, okay, let me go and watch it. See what's happening. Let me tell you something, okay? This is a movie that you need to watch in the movie theater. Like, really. Because this movie, I'm not watching this movie at home. The Spider-Man movie, I can watch it at home. I'm not going to watch it at home. I'm going to watch a movie theater. But superhero movies, a lot of forms of movies, yeah, you can definitely watch them at home. But this movie, no. It's kind of like, Oppenheimer. Like, you gotta see it in the movie theater. Dunkirk, you gotta see in the movie theater. Why? Because these are movies that are more larger than life, and the storytelling and everything like that. And it's great, right? But it's just those films that like I feel like, hey, like, you know, it just feels like a movie that it should be watched in the movie theater, right? Yeah, because there's probably things that you probably miss. Also, because this movie is kind of long. It's like close to 3 hours. Do I have 3 hours at home to watch a movie? No. In a movie theater, I made an effort to go to a movie theater. So there's that. So this movie, right, it is long. Some people might say it's kind of boring and it drags a little bit here and there. Other people might be like, wow, this movie's a masterpiece. It's a film, right? Personally, my thoughts on this, I feel like it could have been a little bit shorter in certain areas. I understand why a film kind of needs to be long, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff you're trying to push into a movie, but just because you're trying to push into a movie, sometimes it's like the movie doesn't have so much to begin with, but you want to have it room to breathe to get immersed in this movie. Okay? So here's the thing. First of all, let's talk about this. First of all, the cinematography. Cinematography was good to really good to amazing to okay. That's all I'm going to say. Because there were a few shots that I'm just like okay. And there were other shots that were like, wow, like a fucking like amazing. Like I love this shot. But then there were other small little bits of shots that were like, you know, you could have done a little bit. You know, could have done a little bit. That's the way I look at it. Okay? It's what it is. Let's talk about the acting. Tom Holland, his acting was really good, right? It wasn't like amazing, but it was good. Okay? What was his name? The guy that played Twilight also played the Batman. I keep forgetting his name. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. You know which actor I'm talking about, right? He played the Batman, and he also wasn't Twilight and stuff like that. He also wasn't Mickey something. I forgot his name. That guy, he steals the show. I feel like he's freaking amazing. The other actors, Matt Damon, you know, and the other actors are great too. The one thing that I feel like is that for them, I feel like when they were in this movie, they were like, okay, we know how to act. We're veterans at this. They fall into acting. Okay. And then they were acting. They were doing their thing. But I feel like it didn't add anything unique to it. You know what I mean? And the reason why I think that one actor that I can't remember his name, I could believe he was in the Batman, he was also on Twilight and all these things. He actually looked like he was actually getting a little bit more like a little bit more expressive, a little bit more like frustrated, like in his acting. So that's why I thought that one was really good. Now the sound design, okay? Sound design is actually pretty amazing. There were a few shots that I saw, right? That when they were walking, you can hear their sword, like when they whip out their swords, that little like little sound that they make is really cool. There's certain shots that I mean, there's certain sounds when they're like walking, you can see like the metal balls they have kind of like crackle there, the ocean, everything like that. That it's all beautifully done. The freaking music that was in here also really good. Okay, the sound of the fire, the sound of them walking, everything like that. I think, hey, it was good, right? And then we're gonna get to the costumes. The costumes are fucking amazing, right? They do look like they were from that period of time. That's what I'm gonna say. The costume, A1. The things that had concern. First of all, Helen of Detroit, right? She's in the movie for a few shots, right? I still don't like that pic. It's still freaking annoying. And I hate it because it actually got me, wait a minute, that's not how she looked like. That's not what she's supposed to be. Like, that still annoys me, by the way. I don't care. That's 1 point down. Zendaya, she's in this movie, right? But the way they put it in this movie, I don't have a problem with it. You'll see it, right, in the movie. The other thing, okay, Travis Scott. Here's the thing about Travis Scott. He has 2 shots, basically 2 parts, right? They were okay. His acting wasn't good. That's all I'm gonna say. You only had like the smallest dialogue that you can think of, but the way he proceeded that dialogue took me a little bit out of it. Like, it's not good. It's not like really bad, but it's kind of like, you could tell he's like an amateur. Like, he never acted before. You can kind of tell when he did that. But it's only the smallest line, and it's passable. And I feel like if you cut his part out of the film, and still, it's like, it's fine, right? Nothing. It doesn't do anything. So there's that. And then we have the Elliot Page. Don't like it. Because we already know about her. She's been on other movies. And I'm guessing they added her in here because she was in a Christopher Nolan movie, Inception. They added her in here. But now she did the whole transition from female to male. And now he's in here being a soldier and stuff like that. You know, it's like, it bothers me. She is in like probably 3 scenes. But all of them are forgettable scenes that you could just like, you know, whatever. Cut them out of the film, you could be like, okay, that's great. That's fine. One of them, she looks like her face is covered up with something. Which is, that part is like, it's fine. You know, it's like, oh, you know. But it is a little bit annoying, right? Because you kind of like, you know what they're, like, when you look at that, you know what's going on. You know what they're trying to signal, okay? Now, let's talk about it. Basically, like the immersion, the accent, right? Basically, not having a Greek like accent, whatever. When I first saw this, at first I felt like, holy shit, like this is like, it kind of feel like it was a film and they dubbed it, but in English at first. But then after that, it sinks in, and then you find it to be fine. And maybe that's why it kind of like feels like it has a filter, like. It feels like it's a little bit dubbed in English, right? But it's actually like the sound, but they actually added like good sound design, and then the acting, the recording was all good. That's what it felt like, because it was missing that accent. And I feel like his name was Robert Pattinson. I feel like Robert Pattinson did bring a little bit of that. Other than that, that's the way it is. So those are the concerns. So that's my thoughts on this movie. Right? Yes, this film, it dragged a few places kind of along. Was it entertaining? It was like, here's the thing. I didn't feel bored in this movie. And I didn't feel 100% entertained. I was more like watching. I was like, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, that's the way it is. This is not a bad film, but they have elements that I don't like. Right? There's that. You know? And there's that. It's like, a lot of these elements are in it. Like, for instance, like, I think her name is Lupita, right? She's an amazing actress. Elliot Page, I never seen her acting. Now that she's, like, transitioning, I never seen her. They're all fine actresses, right? Travis Scott could be a really good actor. Whatever. But then putting in a film called The Odyssey that is based on something, and you changing them up, that's kind of, I don't know. And also adding the whole, like, that they're going to speak perfectly English. And that's it, man. That's all I got for you guys. You know, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. You guys like it right now. It's like, it's really hot and toasty. So this movie, it's a perfect movie to watch in the movie theater. At home, yeah, I feel like you're not even going to watch it at home. I feel like you're just going to skip it because how long it is and the way that this movie shot is made for a movie theater. So there's that. I saw it in Adobe Cinema XL or something like that, where like the sound design fucking amazing. I feel like this movie, like if you watch it in IMAX, it'll probably look a little bit better. You probably see more stuff, which is pretty cool. But I feel like, you know, like there's not like extremely so much that could be like, wow, I need to see everything. I feel like the sound design is what you need to look forward to. But yeah, other than that, this movie is freaking like there's a cool element. To me, I'll give it like, it's kind of like, I'll give it like a 7, close to an 8. Okay, it's not a bad movie, but the personal preference that this movie has that I don't like, it's there. But it is what it is, man. You know, there's that. So hope you guys have a good one. See you guys later. And yeah, bye. I'm freaking sweating buckets here.